Welcome to Diwali celebrations at the Coffee Conversation Show, powered by the Emerging India Forum, TEIF, and a tech partner, Prime Infotech Solution. Theme is Private Equity, Public Purpose, the ESG Chronicles of Pavi Jain. We are celebrating Diwali at Khaitan and Company, and we have with us our guest speaker, Pavi Jain, who's partner at Khaitan and Co., Global Vice Chair of the ESG Committee at the Inter-Pacific Bar Association. With over a decade of legal leadership across private equity, cross-border M&A and sustainability frameworks, Pavi brings an unmatched blend of sharp legal acumen and values-driven advocacy to the global corporate table. From negotiating billion-dollar deals to shaping ESG narratives with global bar associations, Pavi's journey is a reflection of intellect, intention, and impact. A National Law Institute University alumni, legal era star woman lawyer, and speaker at international forums, she balances the corporate grin with quiet personal grace. In this candid conversation, we dive deep into the real, unfiltered journey of a lawyer who is not just navigating the future of law, but actively defining it, and we also come to know Pavi as a person. So welcome Pavi to today's Diwali celebrations at the Coffee Conversation Show.
Thank you for having me here. Happy Diwali to you, and I think all our audiences. Wishing you a very happy Diwali. May the festival of light bring as much abundance, joy, happiness in your life, and wishing you all lots of luck.
Wow. So, let me explain you, Pavi. There are 3 rounds: professional, personal, and a surprise rapid fire round. Okay. And here's your gift. Legally, I 101, but you have to be witty and fun, and then you will get it.
Yes.
So let's begin. Friend, I'm Lion Amir Virani, host at Coffee Corner, legal tech evangelist at Prime Infotech Solution, author of 15 books. So Pavi, you have transitioned from intern to partner at Khaitan & Co. What has been the biggest mindset shift through the climb, and how has the journey been till date?
It's been such a humbling time with the firm. I think 13 years almost now. And when you start as an intern, when you start as a start in your career, you're always wanting to do the right things. So you'll put the right commas, you'll put the right punctuations, you'll do the right case law research. But I think over time you decide and you realize that you have to do things in a right manner, right? Not do the right things, but do things in a right manner. And I think that's what really grows your vision. That's what really grows your love for the profession, and that's what really balances your ambition as well. You would also want to kind of think how your team is feeling today. So that's, maybe do right by whatever things you're doing, and that's what's going to sustain you as long in your profession as you want to be.
Wow, beautiful. So you have been in one place at Khaitan and Company for more than 10 plus years.
Yes.
You've got other coffee speakers also who've been like Orko Mukherjee, 19 years at JSA. So my question would be, what made you stay at Khaitan? And I know, okay, you will be here for your rest of your life. So this will become your business family. So what is there at Khaitan and Company? Like there are other coffee speakers like Tanvi Kumar, which we did. She is also 10 plus years.
Correct.
So what is there? Which is, so we want more lawyers out there to stay in one place and build their career and grow as one business family.
Yes. No, I think really one thing that sticks by me when I think about this firm is that it gives you roots and beyond. And what I mean by that is you have a sense of belongingness. You have a sense of there's a place that you belong to. These are the roots. But at the same time, it's given you the wings to achieve what you want, to try different things, and for them to not set a one line path for each lawyer. I've always had the flexibility to kind of pursue what I wanted here. If you have the energy and the ambition, then the firm will stand behind you and fuel that ambition for you, which is why I say that roots and beyond is really what has kept me back here. Each day is a new day. Each day is a new task to be, to fulfill. And consistency is something that I think as lawyers or even as professionals, consistency really is key. So each day, if you're consistent, probably you will be able to deliver much more than somebody who's being consistent for a shorter span of time. And I think that's what's kept me here. They say long-term game, long-term profits, and that's what the place has provided to so many of us. I would say in my team and across the floor, there are so many of us who've been in the profession, who started their profession with the firm. I'm proud that I'm a lifer at the firm, and so many of us are lifers here.
Wow, like first. Learning new words. Every day in the coffee, I learn new words with the speakers. So,
Sure.
okay, let's build up the conversation.
Yes.
So, Pavi, ESG by nature intersects law, ethics, and corporate conduct.
Right.
How do you balance these often conflicting forces in practice?
So I would put it in a different way. It's not a conflict, so to speak, ESG. It's moved much beyond the hype. It's moving faster than ever before. The Indian regulators have identified it. We've not gone faster on ESG as much as, let's say, a EU would have gone, or the countries in the West would have gone, which is why we also don't see a stop the clock on ESG in India, which is why we don't see a push and pull of ESG in India. It's a great metric in India to be able to work on the offensive and the defensive side of ESG. It's not just corporate compliance or governance metrics. I would say ESG is such a broad term that a lot of our practice areas, I do a lot of M&A and private equity work. So a lot of work there also intersects really with ESG. You're advising funds into investment in green companies, green tech companies. You're exploring the world of carbon credits. At the same time, you're helping the boardroom devise their strategies which are ESG friendly. Lots of new regulations in India today which cover ESG rating providers, ESG assurance providers. So, helping a lot of international market participants who want to expand their businesses into India on building their business strategies. So, it's not as dry as it sounds. It's very, very interesting and good to be doing it at a time when it's really multiplying in a very good manner. And it's a topic which is very, very close to my heart.
That has to be. So, we'll discover more. Okay. So, thank you for leading me to my next question. You said about stop the clock. So, that comes from your panel discussion, International Bar Association ESG conference in Paris, where you made this statement. Uh, so, can you elaborate, build up the conversation more for viewers out there? Okay, what do you mean by stop the clock?
Right. So, at the as the EU has put it, they have stopped the clock or paused the clock on a lot of their ESG regulations, which specifically would also cover any entity overseas which has business in the EU. So, to speak, let's say if there is an Indian company which has export operations in the EU, would also have to comply with ESG regulations of the EU, right? Supply chain mandates, the deforestation regulations, the reporting requirements, reporting compliances. So the defensive side of ESG, I divide ESG into the offensive and the defensive side. The defensive side of ESG in the European Union, be it the carbon market adjustment mechanism, be it so many of the other regulations that I've spoken about, that they realized midway that it could be that these regulations are trying to achieve more than what they had set out for, and the compliance has become very heavy. But at the same time, when we look at India, we are setting our own time. We are not really pausing the clock, and we are not really, the Europe is in how much of ESG, but we are still in the how of ESG, and we are not pushing back on the regulations thanks to our very wonderful regulators. Thankfully, we are not pushing back on the regulations that we've already released. So it's a great time, like I said, and let's work for regulations to where the sun shines the most, which is India, which is the tropics, and because of our topography, because of our geography, carbon credits, renewable energy, all of those are the buzzwords which India is absolutely justifying as far as our own regulations are concerned.
Wow, beautiful. So my next question, as global vice chair of International Bar Association ESG committee, how do you see ESG evolving from a compliance metric to a strategic value driver, not only globally but for Indian market?
No, absolutely. I think it's become a conversation not just for compliance or not just for a tick the box. During our global conversations, our global meetings with our officers in the committees, there is so much more that we're able to offer to the organization as a whole in terms of our ESG offerings. We're all always discussing what's happening in the other jurisdiction. We're also able to see what our client needs are, being a part of that organization which has lawyers from across the globe, who service clients from across the globe, kind of trying to see what ESG needs do the client have across continents. There is a convergence of requirements, I would say for sure, and that's where the global platform has become uniform, or that's where the global platform really meets. You see that there are no boundaries there because investments have liberalized. Cross-border investments is it's a topic of everyday discussion, everyday practice. A lot of my practice is actually cross-border investments. So I definitely see there's a lot of value that each of us there can add into each other's business, into each other's client strategies, and always good to learn what's happening in other jurisdictions and how we can benefit our clients in our jurisdiction from the best practices across.
Beautiful. Okay. So as you said, you worked on cross border. Now let's go to M&A deals. You worked on cross border M&A deals. What are some cultural or legal nuances that shape global negotiations?
Yes, that's an interesting one. I think how your each negotiation when it is with a different jurisdiction is differently built and has to be differently cultivated. When you're working with the West, there will be a lot of precedents which you'll have to follow. Throughout the negotiations, there'll be more of precedents. When you're working with a lot of countries in Asia, I think it's a lot about trust, and that trust really determines. And I mean, hand on heart, I feel every Asian law firm I've worked with, across even law firms in the West, everybody is so hardworking. But still, there is a cultural difference that you will see in, let's say, when you're working with a German client, when you're working with a Japanese client, people will really stick by the clock. When you're working with Germans, and if you get a checklist from them, the checklist will not just mention that this action item will be completed by this day, but it will also mention it will be completed by 1100 hours on this day. So these are the kind of cultural differences you see, and you adopt to them while you're working with that particular client from that jurisdiction. And it's very also good to offer the same to your clients in India. So
Wow.
that's what I see. But the global community of lawyers is so aligned. It's such a great community. There's so much sisterhood and brotherhood that it's lovely always to work with them.
Beautiful. Okay. So my next one is an interesting one. What does a good day at work look like for you in the high stakes world of private equity, mergers, ESG, cross border M&A, different work?
Yeah, I think a good day is just probably by if the first half of the day I've been able to really complete 50% of what I had on my checklists. I've always been a very checklist oriented person. Maybe it's just how lawyers are, or how we've always grown up seeing our parents kind of function their days. And probably also when I'm able to add value to what somebody else is doing at work. Let's say right now, if I'm sitting here with you and somebody there from my team is able to actually uh, pick up something, deliver to a client, they are able to add that value. I'll be more than happy, and I'll be very happy to see that somebody from my team is performing so well. And maybe a good day will be when somebody can come and tell you that, well, I didn't like these 5 things, and I'll be very happy because they're able to confide into me. So that will always be a good day. I think on a personal front, or on a just as a person, I would feel any good day would be a day when I've done more than 2 good deeds. It could be just stopping by the signal and helping somebody at a traffic signal. It could just be that. But I would go home with a happier heart.
Wow, beautiful. Okay, that was good day. Now let's go to a moot court in Vienna. How's experience with forums like the WISP moot court in Vienna impacted your approach to arbitration and client advisory?
One word that absolutely fabulous. I was in my second year. I've still got the opportunity to represent my university as a speaker, where there were about 1,000 law students who had participated from across the world. Again, and that was my, I think, first exposure to international networking, so to speak, right? So we were 4 lawyers from our law school in India, and when we met, let's say, lawyers of another law school from US, we saw 5 speakers, we saw 5 researchers, we saw a moot court coach, we saw a psychological coach, and that's how a team would travel. So they would have a team of 12 or a team of 15, where they would have a coach, they would have a motivational person, and they'll have multiple researchers, etc. And we were 3 speakers and 1 researcher. So you also learn a lot that people invest in their professional journey so much more, and right from that level. We of course try to find mentors and coaches in whatever form we can at that time in the university. But so international networking, absolutely great platform. And those were the pre-Google Map days. So you're still trying to figure out how to reach where as a small law student. So now you feel really proud of yourself that as an 18-year-old, you were able to manage a new city by yourself without any Google Maps, and with really limited phone calls in a day. And a great experience, because you're meeting so many lawyers, so many of those who you will still be in touch with at what stage of your professional career, where you will cross paths with somebody, you never know. So it's just quite a warm community always to be a part of.
Wow. So can you guide out apna ye young lawyers how to go about being part of the moot court in Vienna or other international moot courts or other international forums to gain that experience of going to the international what do you say, legal experience?
Sure. No, I think, when I started, and my own personal experience, when I got admitted into law school, the one thing that I was always very passionate about was going for moot court competitions, be it domestic or international. So whenever we would have an opportunity for a pool selection in our law school, I would be the first one to go to the library and would keep sitting there for hours and hours together. And at that time, the library was, of course, huge, one of the best libraries in India, NLIU Bhopal. But the relevant books would be scarce, because everybody would want the same books for the research. So you would be the first person that would have to go to the library in the morning to get access to those relevant books, and then, keep sitting there through the day with your research. And like I said, consistency and just giving it the amount of time and giving it the amount of hard work, there is absolutely no substitute for that. And once you realize that your passion lies there, and what I would want to guide, or maybe just tell a lot of our law students, my younger peers, is that your interest and passion will only develop once you've spent significant time in that particular place or in that particular activity. So don't lose hope in the first month. Don't lose hope in the first year. Let's say when you don't get selected to a international moot pool selections, you don't. The way it would happen in our law school was that the entire college would participate for the moot pool selections. And once that is done, once you get through, there's a list of 15 throughout the law school. Only 15 would be selected. And then when you would have moot court competitions in the year, those 15 would get the opportunity to represent the law school. And therefore, these moot pool selection competitions were much, much tougher because you had to fall in those top 15. But again, when you have a lot of hard work, will, and maybe just the zest to try different things, you'll end up really at a place where you never knew you would land up, and then that becomes really your passion and love.
Beautiful. Okay, so what's a deal, Pavi, or client engagement that fundamentally reshaped your view on law and leadership?
Wow, there's so many. There's so many, and every month you think that, maybe this is, I've learned something so different from this deal. But I would say a deal when I was a senior associate in the firm, and we had to close, it was a hostile acquisition, and we had to, of course, very limited people in the firm, even in the country, knew about the deal. And we were very few people, really living only on coffee for about 10 days. There was a absolute time pressure to close it in 10 days, and we were staying out of the client office really for those 10 days. But that's where you really, I think I realized 4 5 things. Is what I saw from my senior partner on the deal is, how do you maintain the balance in such a stressful situation? If, as a senior associate on the deal, I would feel the pressure, I'm sure the partner would still feel so much more from the clients and so many around, but that would never pass on to us. It was only the deal pressure that we would have because of where we were and the surroundings. So the first, and what I learned from them, is that whatever the deal pressure is, client pressure is, let it not pass on to your team, irrespective. And managing maybe 100 work streams in a very limited time, with absolute amount of great help and support with from your peers, that really really helped. And that's a deal that I live by so many times, and thinking that, okay, if we were able to do that, I think we can do anything tomorrow. So probably just living by some of those principles.
Wow, beautiful. So, Pavi, which skill beyond legal knowledge has played the biggest role in your success today?
With skill. No, I just feel there's no one skill. You evolve as a person over time. All of us have, maybe what I was 13 years ago when I joined the firm, or maybe what I was 18 years ago when I joined law as a profession. Everything was very different. You've evolved so much as a person, but really, I would say letting go is something that really, really helps you, and not being try not being a perfectionist. That really helps you. Maybe deliver 100%, deliver 120%, but in the guise of being a perfectionist, or in the quest to be a perfectionist, you would end up doing maybe just 50% of the things. And I think people talk about IQ, people talk about EQ, but in this profession, or even otherwise, even in our daily lives, right, I think RQ is very important, which is the relationship quotient. So when you're talking about the big deals, when you're talking about the big instances, or international moot court competition that I participated as a speaker at the age of 18, everything now that I think of which kind of steered that pivotal event in my life was the RQ, which is the relationship quotient I had with everybody around me. Apart from, of course, your hard work and your passion to do it, RQ is very, very important.
Wow, you heard about IQ, EQ, wow, RQ. Yeah, this is what coffee is all about, RQ.
Yes, correct.
So
Absolutely.
you're
So you
giving one
know
over.
about it.
Huh?
You know about it. Yeah.
Learning with each speaker that yeah, RQ thing.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. So, probably legal mentorship is often talked about but rarely institutionalized. How do you pay it forward to the next gen lawyers?
Yeah, like I was talking about, I am very happy when somebody comes and tells me, when somebody comes and confides in me, and I take it as a mentorship uh, challenge, that, this is something that I have to make sure goes right by that person, because that person has come and confided in me. I also make sure that whoever is a young mother now in the firm, like I was few years ago, and I got some very good mentorship advice by one very senior female partner who was one of the legal stalwarts in the industry. I got some great advice from her the day I joined back office after my maternity leave, and I still thank her for a lot of that advice. At that time, still we didn't have so many, young working mothers. Now we have so many, so we have a very good platform to support each other. I try helping all of them in whichever way I can, just because I know we've all gone through the process, and we must encourage them when they come back. So I personally feel that that's part of my kind of giving back to the community, and encouraging all the young lawyers to give their best. I love, in fact, working with a lot of our fresh lawyers in the firm, because who've just joined us after law school, because the amount of passion they have to deliver, the amount of new ideas they have. So I also love training and mentoring them, and I would like to keep doing that as well.
Beautiful. So now AI is everywhere. How has AI impacted ESG and corporate advisory legal work, and how has experience been using AI?
That's a very, very, it's a question we're all figuring. We all don't know where we will be 5 years down the line, because AI has been, I wouldn't say it's been disruptive, it's only been very, very helpful. But who will survive tomorrow is not somebody who is somebody who has a very good grapple on how to use AI.
Yes.
And that's going to be the differentiation in a good lawyer, or in a lawyer who can deliver more, who can use AI better. And maybe those who don't know how to use AI better, who are not very good on their AI skill sets, that's really the difference you're going to see in the next few years. In terms of our work practice, in terms of, let's say ESG, or really cross-border M&A, where of course using, AI can be used to simplify hours. But you need to know the law. AI can never tell you the law. So your first principles, all of that has to be in place. It can always help you in, putting together a checklist, but your thoughts have to always be yours. Your directions, your prompts, your understanding of the law. That's very personal, and that's the personal touch that we add for our clients, which I think AI will never be able to take away.
Yeah, it's all about AI plus HI,
And
Oh.
and what's HI?
human intelligence.
Human intelligence, of course.
There is this. I came across this thing from there is a US-based lawyer, Nikki,
Okay.
who writes on AI plus HI.
Oh,
So I
wow.
just tell my team, "Bhai, AI will give you 50%, but then you have to use your human intelligence to
No, absolutely.
ये convert it into deliverables. Otherwise, copy paste करके कराएंगे तो it will be won't look like
Yes.
this flyer thing. It will design, but aesthetically you have to put in your creativity. That is human intelligence.
Yes,
Otherwise, you see all the
100%.
videos out there now, ये AI generated. They will all lose viewership out there after some years. By that voice, which is not, you can't relate to the voice.
Yes, there's
You
no
can't relate
human
to the
touch to
images.
it. There's no human touch to it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to add that if you lose that creativity, you will be redundant. Means
100%.
from the job also and from your life.
100%. You have to upskill yourself each day. I feel, when people talk about consistency and other things, I think if you just keep getting some inspiration from the work that you're doing, or from even any skill that you're learning each day, that is something that keeps you back. So if somebody asked me, and you were asking me, how have you been here for more than a decade? It's not what happens at the end of the year, or it's not the everyday deals that you're doing, but it is the everyday inspiration that you're getting at work. And that inspiration which is transpiring into a quick result, that's really what keeps you going and keeps you fixed to a place.
Beautiful. Okay. So how has experience been using legal tech tools like Literary Companion and others?
Yes. No, good you asked that question. Of course, we use, I think, as lawyers, this is like a guilty pleasure, uh, to understand the changes that we've made or somebody else has made on the drafts, and to kind of see through those changes. Litera and all of those apps are generally very, very helpful.
Wow. So now How do you envision the role of Indian law firms evolving in the global ESG and sustainability discourse?
It's it's definitely, I think, the way to look at it is because of the market that India has become, because of our 7% GDP, which is very real, because of all the progressive regulations you see, the policy frameworks which have opened up, the production linked incentive schemes that you see, the PLIs, a lot of flexibility, the GST reforms, the cross border reverse merger, timelines which have shortened up. So many of those progressive reforms at the policy level, which you see in India. Specifically, when you're talking about ESG, I would say India is the fourth largest renewable energy producer in the world. By 2030, 50% of the energy that we will use will be renewable energy. Our renewable energy capacities have doubled and tripled over the past few years. And it's a hotbed for investment. Investment percentages, if there's a free flow of foreign investment into most sectors in India now without any restriction. So, we see so much interest in the Indian economy right now, in the Indian markets right now. There's never been a better time to be a lawyer or to be a professional who's working out of India. So I definitely feel at the global level, at the global platform, we're really at a great place. I would encourage all our younger participants, all our students who are seeing this video, to really, really consider India actually as the next destination for your career opportunities. There is so much more that this country can offer at this moment than a country in the West can.
Wow. So let's go to the next round and understand Pavi as a person.
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
Let me tell us about your family and your formative years.
Yeah, I think a large part of what I owe to who I am today is my family. I come from a family of doctors, so professional parents who were always put their work ethic before anything. Excellence was always a norm, it was not an exception. And till date, my parents work for about 15-hour days. And I always see them putting, their patients first. To give you an example, when I was just born, 5 hours after I was born, and my mother was still in the hospital, of course, with me. One of her antenatal patients who had come to show to her for the 9 months was delivering on the day. And the patient refused to go to any other gynecologist. My mother's a gynecologist, saying that I have come to show to you in these 9 months, and now I'm not going to any other gynecologist. So, 5 hours after I was born, my mother was on her feet delivering another patient, and that, of course, that child's birth date is the same as mine. And
Yes.
so whenever I hear that story, or whenever now I meet that patient and the patient's child, I always, there's just a sense of that sense of duty that you should have to your profession, that sense of work ethic, and the amount of, I think, good deeds my parents do generally for the society, for the National Institute of Blind, for my grandfather. He's no more. We're going to
Sorry.
celebrate his first death anniversary day after. But
Sorry.
he's done so much for the society. He's done 4 lakh free cataract eye operations, and not just in his own city. He would walk to villages, take trains at that time and walk to villages just to be able to perform those free eye cataract operations. He's received multiple national awards from the president and the prime ministers at that time for that. But what I just feel is that if you have a skill, if you have a skill set, then try contributing to the society with that skill set, because you never know where karma comes back to you.
Very true. So that the child is your, what do you say, soul brother or sister.
I would say so. Yes, a good way to put it. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. So, how do you unwind after a long, hectic day working on ESG, M&A, cross border, so many things?
I would say getting a quality time with my daughter, who's going to turn 4 in December. If I get that quality time with her, it's the biggest stress buster for the day. That's why I love. That's what I love to wind over at the end of the day.
Wow. So, what's a childhood memory which brings a smile on you?
uh, Everything actually from childhood, it's always just so close to your heart. But I think all the time that we spent with our parents in learning extracurricular activities, maybe swimming, maybe playing basketball with them on weekends. Or my mother, she learned how to swim to teach to us because we refused to go to any swimming teacher. So,
Oh, wow.
that. And I think a lot of what I am today is because for a lot of committed people at home who've been able to commit so much to our growth and development. So, and school, a lot of fun memories from school. So that always brings a smile to my face. I was the CBSE merit lister in standard 10th, and when the results came, I just remember, I think my parents were so happy. I was happy, of course, but your parents are always so happy. So those memories, of course, bring back a lot of happiness.
Wow. So, since you're from Indore, let's take a walk tour. Someone is visiting Indore. What are the places to check in and food to have in Indore? You're a
Okay,
tour guide, huh?
it's an absolute food paradise. So you should start your day at Chappan Dukan, which is 56th Street. It's a smart food street with no cars allowed. So you have your poha and jalebi for breakfast, followed by some nice matar ki kachori and some patties at Vijay Chaat House. I'm not endorsing any of the brands here, but they're the absolute best. I'm talking about them. And then some great lunch at one of the oldest haunts and great hotels in Indore, Sri Maya. So you have your great lunch there. Of course, my mother's kitchen is always the best place to go and eat. And there's a very good night food street called as Sarafa, which is actually a gold and silver market in the day, and it becomes a beautiful food market in the night, which is on till 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. and you'll get the best food there. So it's a good mix of your mornings and evenings only eating food.
Wow. So, if your friends had to describe you in 3 words, what would they say?
My friends would call me a very positive person. They would tell me that I'm a perfectionist, though I don't feel I am, but they definitely feel I'm a perfectionist in the group of friends. And just, I think, very happy-go-lucky.
Wow. Since you have lived, studied, traveled different the whole world, which city feels like home to you?
Any place where my family is there. So while I'm from Indore, but if my family today is in Bombay, that will feel like home to me.
Wow. So, which is that book, movie, or song which has left a lasting impact on you?
So I've always been a very avid reader. I've just not been able to read so much of late, and that's like going to be my New Year resolution that I must read a lot of books. But I really like the autobiography of a yogi. It's very good. Non-fiction. Fiction. I read a lot of Chitra Banerjee, who writes a lot of mythological fiction, and she's written a lot about female mythological characters in life at that time from their perspective, Sita, Draupadi, and the likes. So yeah, that I quite enjoy reading that.
Wow. So, I'm making you emotional. What message would you like to give to your daughter?
To my daughter,
So, whenever she misses you, she
yes,
has got a video.
yeah. No, I travel a lot for work, and I travel overseas also quite a bit for work. So she does get a lot of my absence for like days at a stretch, 7 days and 10 days. But she knows that what I'm doing will only make me happy. So she knows what I always tell her is keep doing whatever makes you happy. And for her happiness today is, let's say, a bowl of chocolate. But just keep doing whatever makes you happy.
Okay. So, we have got this Sri Shakti series at the Coffee Conversation Show. What does Sri Shakti mean to you?
Sri Shakti means resilience. It means staying unfazed, not getting bogged down by what's happening around or by what the society may think of you. We're a very progressive society now, especially let's say the firm where I am, the family where I am. But just keep going, I think.
Wow. So my last one is a googly one. Describe Pavi in one line.
Pavi in one line. I would do injustice, I feel, to just be able to say anything in one line. But in the current state of things, I'm just a ball of abundance.
Wow. So let's put you in the hot seat.
Okay.
The rapid fire round. Your go-to comfort food.
So many. But if maybe just a good bowl of dal rice or some good dessert. And of late, Indian desserts more than your brownies or cheesecakes. Maybe a bowl of nice gulab jamun or bundi ka laddu or yeah.
Your favorite color.
My favorite color is white.
Drafting or negotiating.
Negotiating.
ESG or M&A, if you have to pick one.
ESG blended into M&A.
Nice. Okay. One word to describe your leadership style.
A go-getter.
Wow. Your dream travel place.
Hawaii, the Hawaii Islands.
Best piece of advice received.
Do what keeps you happy.
Wow. Your favorite food dish from Indore.
Poha jalebi. And I recently received a very good advice where they said that you compromise on so many things in life to become happy, right? But you lose your happiness because you're compromising on so many things in life to later on achieve happiness. So it's a very vicious circle. But yeah, something to ponder about that I heard recently.
Wow, it's a beautiful one. Okay, last one. Coffee or chai during late night case preparation?
Chai, I'm a chai lover.
But you are the coffee show.
We are on the coffee show,
Let's
but I'd love to have a good adrak ka chai with you.
Okay. So you did well, and here's your book,
Thank you.
your gift, Diwali gift.
Thank you so much.
There are many more there.
Thank you so much.
And it's an autograph.
How lovely. How lovely. Thank you so much.
So, what a phenomenal journey we have uncovered today with Pavi on this Diwali Day celebration. From billion-dollar deals to global ESG leadership, from quiet reflections to powerful boardroom insights. Pavi, thank you for sharing not just your expertise but also your authenticity, curiosity and compassion. You have shown us that law is not just about rules and risk, but about responsibility, relevance and redefining the future. To our viewers, if today's conversation stirred something in you, let it be this: the next frontier of legal leadership is one where purpose meets precision and values drive value. Until next time, stay inspired, stay intentional, keep pushing the boundaries of what the law can do for business, for society, and for yourself. So, like that, we have got 500 plus coffee speakers have shared their professional, personal insights. Subscribe, implement, and see the changes. We meet with another coffee speaker with in person or on Zoom over a cup of coffee. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.